I'm Ms. Artastic, and in this episode, we're going to be diving in on how to teach about Jean-Michel Basquiat to your students. So let's dive in on this episode and let's make some art. Alright, so number one is to explore expressive marks. So he was a neo-expressionist, so I think the best way to kind of warm up into Jean-Michel Basquiat is to do and play with some expressive mark making. So give a variety of art making mediums and let them explore their mood, their feelings, or whatever mood or feeling they want to convey to their audience through making marks. And I would do that with oil pastels, which is something that Jean-Michel Basquiat kind of did. You can do it with crayons, you can do it with paint, whatever you want to use. Explore making expressive marks on paper, in your sketchbook, doing different swatches. You can divide your paper up into like a grid, and they can do different little sections of samplings of expressive marks. You can even label them like angry, sad, happy, and just think about how to express oneself with mark making. Okay, number two is to do some more mixed media work. So Jean-Michel Basquiat's work was very mixed media. So think about like they're changing up what surface you're going to create on. Maybe instead of creating on paper, you're creating on cardboard. Maybe you're going to cut and glue things on top, or maybe you're going to create on cardboard, paint with acrylic first, and then make marks with your oil pastels. So think about doing some mixed media explorations to kind of explore the style and passion and artist flavor of Jean-Michel Basquiat. Number three is to study his life and artworks and then teach it. So think about ways in which you're going to teach about Jean-Michel Basquiat's life, how he started off kind of doing street art, and it kind of worked his way up into the art world and then became friends with people like Andy Warhol, famously. I think he was friends. I would just say he was friends with people like Madonna. And anyways, kind of talk about his life and from his transition and from street art to fame, kind of, and how he what kind of imagery he represented, how he explored the human condition and his life through his art, and his background and the importance of his work, and then show some of his work. So you could pick different artworks and you could talk about it, and with students, what do they think, what do they see, what do they notice first, how do they enter the work, what colors are used, what principles the designer used. There's a lot of contrast, for instance, in his work. And then they can even try to interpret it, like what do you think this is about, what do you think it's reflecting, do you notice any reoccurring symbols through his work, what do you think the symbols mean. You can talk about his logo or his street art name that he used to go by. So thinking about teaching, how you're going to teach explicitly about and talk about Jean-Michel Basquiat as an artist, but also his artwork with your students. Then number four, again, is to teach about symbols he used in his work. So take a look very explicitly, do a whole lesson on symbolism, and look at symbols he used, what do you think they mean, talk about what they mean, and then you're going to have students brainstorm symbols that might represent them and their culture, their identity, who they are, and then design symbols for that, right? So you can do a whole class on, teaching about what symbols he used, and then students deciding on symbols that might represent their own life and their world, and that they might include in their art. So a whole lesson just on symbols, right? So you can go really in depth with Jean-Michel Basquiat. And then of course, you can also take these concepts and scale them from primary all the way up to high school, up and down. You can make these lessons. These are just general ideas. So you can take these ideas and then make them fit for whatever grades you're teaching. There's absolutely no reason you cannot teach this K-12. And I will talk a little bit about that later, on what kinds of artworks you can do. Number five is to do then create some mixed media self-portraits. I would start off with that. A mixed media self-portrait, maybe do some paint and oil pastel portraits in the style of Jean-Michel Basquiat, including some of those symbols that they have come up with, things that represent who they are, their culture, their identity, all embedded within their design, their self-portrait in the style of Jean-Michel Basquiat, expressing their own human condition, their identity, their culture. I think that would be so absolutely beautiful and rich. It's a great way to do work that is meaningful for them, but also reflective of art history and the neo-expressionist style of making art. Now, if you're looking for some different artworks, including a Jean-Michel Basquiat in self-portrait, including artworks that are, specifically designed for kindergarten, your elementary, and your older students, middle school level students, and beyond, I have a variety of different Jean-Michel Basquiat art lessons that you can check out in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, Ms. Artastic on TPT. And if you want to preview them, get some ideas for art lessons for teaching Jean-Michel Basquiat, looking at some images, you can find them by clicking the big link in the description of the video that says click here to see Jean-Michel Basquiat art lessons. And that will take you to all of my Jean-Michel Basquiat art lessons, everything from like a smiley face in style of Jean-Michel Basquiat to different crowns in the style of Jean-Michel Basquiat for your primary students, to doing his flexible artwork on his skulls and his self-portraits for your older students. So check them out. They're all pre-planned, all the step-by-steps are done, all your rubrics, your assessment, your reflection, all your worksheets are ready to go, your lesson plan, everything is an example, your display sign. I literally make all the elements so that way you can just grab it and do your job, which is teaching, to help you get a little bit more time back in your life, to take you from being like, on the hamster wheel of creating, which is what I do, and you get to enjoy being the teaching and being a stress-free, calmer, happier you. So if you want to check those out, again, hit the big link in the description of the video. Your next video to watch is how to use sketchbooks in the classroom. You can watch that video by clicking the link above or in the description of the video, and I will see you in that episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Help me get to 100,000 subscribers. That is my absolute dream. I will do a humongous giveaway once I get there. Let me know your ideas for our giveaway in the description of the video. What should I give away? Let me know. I can't wait. And it will also allow me to continue to do these videos for you for free. And I will be here as long as you need me. So I will keep creating these videos. Just make sure you subscribe, share my videos, and like my videos. It really, really helps me out on the YouTube algorithm. And I will see you in the next episode.